Hi everybody, Marley and I will be walking you all through our unit plan for Education 547. So our unit plan is titled Our Solar System and Earth's History. The grade level focus is 6th grade, and this will be a 10-day unit filled with 40-minute lessons.
Great. We will have two goals throughout this unit. Goal number 1 is that students will be exploring the various planets in our solar system and finding patterns and explaining different types of phenomena. And our second goal is that students will research the history of the Earth to make connections and determine timelines of major events in our history.
Here are our science standards. There are a few of them, and then
if you scroll down, you can see our writing standards as well,
our art standards, and our technology standards.
Here you will see our different types of materials that we've aligned with our multiple intelligences. If you scroll down, and then we get to our days.
So we'll walk you through each lesson and each day. So for day 1, this is the first lesson. This is when students will read the chapter in their textbook on rock strata and fossils. Students will take detailed notes using Google Docs or Notability. They can make Quizlet flashcards for their vocabulary words, and then get in Zoom breakout rooms to collaborate with other classmates.
Great. And then in our second day, this is when our students will be looking at the logical progression of Earth's historical timeline. So they'll be working through this lab that you see here. And then if you look down farther, we're going to be using the technology Google Classroom, Google Docs, Google Slides, and Tableau.
For the third lesson, students will be placed in groups of 3 to 4. Each group will be assigned a different article from this website. Each article relates directly to our science standards.
Great. And then in the day 4, the fourth lesson, this is when students will be using the information that they've learned thus far and writing a 3-paragraph essay by themselves. They will be writing it on Google Docs, and they'll be submitting it to Google Classroom for the teacher to grade it.
The 5th lesson is moving on to the solar system. So students in both a virtual and face-to-face environment will use class time to explore NASA's Eyes of the Solar System program. This will help them gain a deeper understanding of the way the universe works.
And then in day 6, this is when students will look into classifying each planet with different categories. So they will use that same NASA program and their science textbook to explore the different features of the planet. And then they will use the platform Canva to organize these planets in their own unique way.
Students will then post their creations to a Canvas discussion board where they can see other people's work. For the 7th lesson, students will be assigned a different planet to create a presentation on. Since there are more students than there are planets, there'll be multiple presentations on the same planet. But students will create a PowerPoint or Google Slide presentation describing the size, color, and the planet's distance from Earth. Students will also include 4 interesting facts about their planet. Students will use Loom to present their slideshow and post it on another Canvas discussion board.
Day 8 excites us. This is when the students will be making a song. In our 8th lesson, they're going to be using a free music creating program. These are some examples that they can use: Soundtrap, Fun to Think, and Beatbox. Those are some options. And then they will be meeting with their group using Zoom breakout rooms or Google Meet to write the songs and collaborate with one another.
Day 9 is also super fun. Students are going to use the program Tinkercad to create a virtual 3D model of the solar system. So students will have the option to work by themselves or with a partner. They'll use NASA to research the planets and any other digital resources that they find helpful. They'll write down their notes using Notability or Google Docs while completing the model, and then post their model to a Canvas discussion board.
Great. And then day 10, our final day in this unit, this is when the students will really get to show what they've learned so far. They will be spending time to share their virtual model of the solar system with their classmates. They will be posting a link, if this is in a virtual environment, to Canvas discussion board, and they, just like we, will get to comment back and give feedback to our peers.
Moving on, now we're going to go in a little bit more in depth to the projects that we have integrated within this unit. So the first project is the Google Jamboard in Lesson 3. Students will be creating a Google Jamboard that summarizes their assigned article about Earth's history, working in groups of 3 to 4.
In Project 2, this is when they'll be writing a 3-paragraph essay that encapsulates really all that they've learned so far in the unit up to Lesson 4.
For the third project, students are going to be creating a graphic organizer where they classify the planets into different categories that make the most sense to them. Students will use Canva to create their graphic organizer.
Yep. And then project 4, this is when they're making a PowerPoint presentation in lesson 7. They can use either PowerPoint or Google Slides to do so, but they need to make sure that they describe the color, size, and the distance from Earth of their planets.
Project 5 is the music and song creation that Marley talked about, where students will be using music creating programs to write a song that either focuses on Earth's history or the solar system. So this is a fun student choice project that they can choose to do either of the standards that we're focusing on.
And our last and exciting project this is when they're getting to actually build hands-on for our kinesthetic learners, the virtual 3D model of the solar system. They get to work with by themselves or with the partner, depending on what environment this is in. Again, making sure to use correct size, shape, and color of the planets.
And then we created a rubric for each of our projects. So the first rubric is out of 10 points. So students their Google Jamboard will be graded on a clear and accurate summary of the article, collaboration with team members, and clarity and grammar.
Right, and then our 3-paragraph essays out of 10 points. 4 points for inclusion of evidence from the text, 3 for includes 3 complete paragraphs, 2 for presents at least 2 new ideas learned, and 1 point to make sure that they include neatness and creativity.
The third project is the graphic organizer. Out of 15 points, it's a little bit higher than the other ones. Students will be graded on their planets being categorized in a unique way, the demonstration of the different features of the planets, use of Canva, and neatness and creativity.
Right, and then our PowerPoint presentation is out of 15 points as well. This is when they need to make sure that they describe the size, color, and distance. They need to present 4 interesting facts. They need to have at least 5 slides and make sure that they include neatness and creativity.
Project 5 is worth a little bit less points because we just really want students to have fun with this and this to help them learn and memorize the details of either the planets or Earth's history. So this is their song, and students will be graded on effort and participation and their creativity.
And our last one, this is when it's out of 30 points. It's our biggest project because they are going to be building the 3D model. They need to include all 8 planets. They need to make sure, again, it reflects the size, shape, and color of the planets, use the correct scale for distance, and include neatness and creativity.
And that concludes our unit plan.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.